A few weeks before Sophie's crime, the Las Vegas Aces were celebrating another championship. Champagne spraying, confetti floating, cameras flashing. A'ja Wilson, the MVP, the face of the W, grabbed a microphone, smirked at the crowd, and said, "The only special whistle I know." The crowd laughed. ESPN replayed it for days, but buried beneath the laughter was a truth everyone in that arena understood. It was a jab, a shot at critics who've said for years that A'ja Wilson gets superstar treatment, and how could they not? In the finals, she shot 19 free throws in one game, more than the entire Phoenix Mercury roster combined. A statistical miracle, or a quiet confirmation that some players live by a different rulebook. Either way, Wilson's joke became a moment of celebration. Sophie Cunningham's joke became a crime scene. Same playfulness, different punishment. Same humor, different hierarchy. In Cathy Engelbert's WNBA, the rules don't apply equally. They bend for some, they break others. When Caitlin Clark was thrown to the floor mid-drive, no whistle blew. When Aaliyah Boston got hacked under the rim, no statement followed. When players were literally tackling stars on live television, Cathy Engelbert said nothing. Her silence was constant, almost comforting in its predictability. But then Sophie Cunningham joked about a Victoria's Secret runway, and suddenly Engelbert's voice reappeared like thunder after months of drought. A formal league statement, a warning, a lecture about respect and professionalism. Where was that energy when Clark was being dragged across the hardwood? Where was that concern for values when players mocked each other in pressers? The message couldn't be clearer. It's not what you say, it's who you are when you say it. Engelbert doesn't enforce fairness, she enforces loyalty. Her silence isn't weakness, it's selective obedience. Sophie Cunningham's punishment wasn't about words, it was about optics. In the modern WNBA, perception is everything. It's no longer about who's right, it's about who looks right on social media. The league built an empire on narratives of representation and unity, and Engelbert guards that image like a fortress. When a white player makes a joke involving a black star, it's instantly labeled as racial insensitivity. When the roles reverse, it's authenticity. The league doesn't mediate conflict, it monetizes it. Sophie Cunningham's sin wasn't the joke, it was challenging the brand. In the WNBA's current ecosystem, empowerment isn't universal, it's conditional. Sophie Cunningham's sin wasn't the joke, it was challenging the brand. In the same league that claims to celebrate your individuality will destroy it. Cathy Engelbert doesn't run a sports league anymore. She runs a marketing agency wearing a basketball jersey. Every decision that leaves her desk filters through one question: how will this play on Instagram? When Angel Reese walked the Victoria's Secret runway, the league blasted her image across social media. Empowerment, confidence, feminine strength. When Sophie referenced that exact moment, the tone shifted instantly. Insensible, unprofessional, unacceptable. The same moment, two opposite interpretations, one rooted in bias. Engelbert's leadership is powered by optics, not ethics. She doesn't lead a movement, she curates a narrative. And the moment Sophie's humor disrupted that story, the commissioner panicked. Because if fans started asking who decides which voices are empowering, Engelbert's control would start to crumble. A'ja Wilson, Angel Reese, the chosen ones, the untouchables. The players who can say or do anything and still be labeled authentic. They can throw shade, mock rivals, or accuse officials of bias, and the league will smile for the camera. But if Sophie Cunningham, or Lexi Hull, or any player outside that circle breathes the wrong way, they're suddenly problematic. The WNBA's message of equality has fractured into a pyramid, and only a few are allowed to stand at the top. Sophie didn't break a rule, she broke rank, and that's unforgivable in a league where favoritism has replaced fairness. The truth is, Sophie Cunningham's rise didn't come from highlight reels, it came from her voice. She built her brand through transparency, through podcasts, through humor. She never waited for ESPN to hand her a spotlight, she built one herself. That independence, that refusal to rely on the league's scripted PR narrative is what truly angered Engelbert, because for the first time, a player was controlling her own story, not waiting for the league to tell it. Sophie's podcast, Tres Leches, became more than entertainment. It became her power, her platform, her weapon. And when she used that platform to crack a joke about the league's poster child, she didn't just cross a line, she proved she didn't need one. Sophie understood something most players don't. In 2025, controversy isn't the liability, it's leverage. Mention the right names, touch the right nerves, and you trend. For years, Angel Reese used controversy to her advantage, spinning every headline into sponsorship. Sophie simply mirrored that playbook, and the league couldn't handle it, because controversy only benefits the chosen few. When the wrong person wields it, it becomes rebellion. But the punishment backfired spectacularly. Within 48 hours of her warning, Sophie's podcast views spiked. Her social media following tripled. Clips of her so-called offensive joke flooded every timeline. The league tried to silence her. Instead, it made her louder. Think about the symbolism. Aja Wilson blows a whistle to mock her critics. Sophie Cunningham receives a warning for using her voice. One celebrates power, the other gets punished for it. The whistle became an emblem of privilege, a sound that signals who's protected and who's punished. The league doesn't care about integrity, it cares about silence. Engelbert's WNBA doesn't reward honesty, it rewards compliance. Sophie's voice was never the problem. It was a reminder that some people still have the courage to laugh when they're not supposed to. Once the warning went public, the wolves arrived. Social media accounts recycled the same captioned outrage, racist, intensive, jealous. Not a single one of them quoted the full clip. Not one of them cared about intent, because outrage pays better than truth. Reporters who ignored real controversies suddenly rediscovered their keyboards when a white player said Angel Reese. Headlines twisted a 20-second clip into a national debate about race and privilege. Sophie didn't just become a player under scrutiny, she became a prop in a culture war. The league couldn't wait to exploit. Every retweet fed the algorithm. Every think piece fed the brand. And Engelbert smiled behind the curtain, pretending to condemn the fire she quietly started. Angel Reese walking the Victoria's Secret runway was supposed to be a victory lap, a moment of empowerment, a symbol of growth, and it was until someone mentioned it out loud. The same Angel who once cried on national TV about being objectified was now modeling lingerie in front of millions. That's not hate, that's irony. Sophie's joke wasn't mocking Angel, it was pointing out the contradiction the league wanted everyone to ignore. But irony has no place in Engelbert's WNBA, because if players start questioning narratives, the marketing machine falls apart, and nothing terrifies this commissioner more than losing control of the message. While the world dissected Sophie's tone, the real problem continued unaddressed. Officiating bias, players whisper it, coaches admit it off camera, fans scream it every game. Aja Wilson gets 19 free throws in a finals matchup. Caitlin Clark can get body slammed on a drive with no whistle. Aaliyah Boston takes contact after contact while refs look away. The imbalance is obvious, and the frustration is real. But instead of addressing fairness, Engelbert polishes humor. Instead of fixing the rules, she punishes laughter. The irony is painful. Sophie's joke exposed the league's broken culture more effectively than any press conference ever could. This isn't a basketball league anymore. It's a culture war wrapped in orange and white. Every foul becomes political. Every comment becomes an identity debate. The court has become a stage for ideology, not competition. Fans don't know whether to cheer or argue. The product isn't the game, it's the drama. And Engelbert doesn't stop it, she scripts it. But the difference between scripting tension and living hypocrisy is thin, and Sophie just tore that script in half. When Caitlin Clark hosted Saturday Night Live, pundits said she was distracted. When Angel Reese walked the runway, she was empowered. When Sophie Cunningham made a joke about it, she was problematic. The same behavior, 3 different headlines. The only variable is who the league wants to protect. Empowerment in the WNBA isn't universal, it's selective. The league claims to celebrate authenticity, but only when it aligns with its politics. Authenticity that questions power, that's a punishable offense. Kathy Engelbert doesn't fear controversy, she fears autonomy. She wants every narrative centralized under her authority. Players can be bold, but only within the box she draws for them. Sophie Cunningham stepped outside that box, and Engelbert couldn't handle it, because if players can build their own platforms, if they can speak directly to fans without the league's filter, then Engelbert loses her control of the story, and in the WNBA, control is currency. By silencing Sophie, Engelbert turned her into a symbol, the player who got punished for laughing, the rebel who got stronger because the league tried to make her small. In an age of cameras and microphones, censorship never works, it multiplies. Sophie's voice echoed louder than ever, carried by fans who saw through the hypocrisy. Engelbert wanted compliance. What she got was clarity. The league isn't afraid of bad press. It's afraid of honest voices. And Sophie's laugh became the loudest protest of all. Fans are done pretending. They see the double standards, the rigged favoritism, the selective outrage. They remember when Angel Reese mocked Caitlin Clark on live television. No fine. They remember when A'ja Wilson mocked critics. No statement. Then they watch Sophie Cunningham make a harmless joke and get publicly warned. The illusion shattered. This wasn't about professionalism. It was about politics. Fans know it, players whisper it, and every new scandal confirms it. Imagine a WNBA where every player speaks freely, where no one's afraid to joke or criticize. That's Engelbert's nightmare, because equality of voice means equality of power, and power shared is power lost. So she polices tone instead of fixing problems. She silences dissent instead of facing it. But censorship breeds rebellion. Every player she tries to muzzle becomes louder. Every warning becomes a headline. And the moment fans started asking why, Engelbert's illusion began to collapse. They thought they could cancel Sophie. They ended up canonizing her. Every insult became momentum. Every hate comment became exposure. Even people who never watched a WNBA game started Googling her name. Sponsors noticed. Podcasts called. Clips spread. The league tried to erase her moment, but you can't erase truth. And in a twisted way, Engelbert's punishment gave Sophie what every player wants most: relevant. Engelbert's WNBA doesn't reward excellence, it rewards obedience. Play the role, repeat the message, and the machine will lift you up. Step out of line and it'll chew you alive. Angel Reese gets celebrated for speaking her truth. Sophie Cunningham gets condemned for the same thing. The difference isn't talent, it's usefulness. The WNBA has become a league of double standards, where empowerment is marketed but not practiced, and Sophie's warning ripped that illusion into pieces. Leadership should unify. Engelbert divides. She's built a system where fear replaces trust and PR replaces progress. Her silence during controversies isn't diplomacy, it's avoidance. Her sudden discipline isn't leadership, it's performance. Every move she makes proves that image means more than integrity. The WNBA doesn't need a commissioner who manages headlines. It needs one who manages fairness. Engelbert's reign isn't strengthening the league, it's suffocating it. Sophie Cunningham didn't set out to be a revolutionary. She made a joke, but what happened next revealed everything broken about the league she plays in. She exposed how quickly the WNBA turns empowerment into punishment when it's convenient. How leadership uses players as symbols instead of people. How the system bends truth to protect comfort. Sophie didn't cross a line, she revealed that the line itself is rigged. And that's what makes this story poetic. A league built on empowerment tried to silence a woman for speaking. A commissioner obsessed with control ended up losing it. A joke meant to make people laugh became a mirror reflecting the league's hypocrisy. Sophie Cunningham didn't destroy the WNBA's image, she revealed it. That official warning wasn't a punishment, it was proof. Proof that honesty still threatens the system. Proof that one voice can shatter silence. Proof that even laughter can be rebellion. So maybe Sophie didn't just tell a joke. Maybe she told the truth, and the league just couldn't take the punchline.